The following is a paid program brought to you by My Philly Lawyer. The views and opinions expressed are those of the sponsor and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the station and its management.
Good morning. Court Radio is now in session. Call 215-227-2727. When you've got legal questions, we've got the answers. This is Court Radio. And now here's your host, Dean Weitzman.
Good morning and welcome to Court Radio. I'm Dean Weitzman, and this is your hour to ask legal questions. We've got the answer. I'm joined in the studio with my co-host, the one and only David M. Rappaport.
Good morning.
Hello, Big Dave.
Hey.
Welcome back to Court Radio. I want to thank our listeners for their active participation in what's been the hottest legal show in the Delaware Valley. David and I answer your legal questions one at a time, but only one at a time. If you've got a second question, you're going to have to jump back into the queue. David and I have a rule here, one question only. We've been letting people go. That's right, we've been letting people go on that rule. But no more. We're starting a new season at Court Radio, and if you've asked a second question, you're gone. We're going to drop you like yesterday's Trump debate. How did that go?
Debacle.
Yeah, debate debacle. I like that, David.
Debate debacle.
You're
How did
one-
it go?
Yeah.
Well, I admittedly did not watch the debate, but I
Yes.
certainly saw snippets that were entertaining, to say the least.
Folks, if you've got legal questions, you probably know the number already, but I'm going to give it to you. 215-227-2727. That's the legal number for all your issues in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, and wherever else you're from. 215-227-2727. You get yourself onto that number, you got a place to call home. My Philly Lawyer. That's right. So, the debate debacle.
Yeah, I'm not sure Trump's going to be getting a lot of female voters this if he gets the nomination.
I heard, like, he called Rosie O'Donnell a fat pig, and he was just on her tirade.
Well, he had already called her way back when he had his thing with Rosie a couple of years ago or whatever. They went back and forth. And so when he was asked at the debate that he has a history of calling women things, he chimed in and said only Rosie O'Donnell. And then,
like he's used that on Rosie, but he's never ever used it on another woman.
Right. Meaning, like, I've only done that with Rosie, right?
What I find amazing, David, is that he's actually leading in the Republican polls.
Yeah, I don't. If there's any telltale sign that I don't even know how to put this in a nice way, that people you may know who you engage with, and I get this, you get this all the time too, that the argument of we each have our difference, we have our differences of opinions. You have Republicans, you have Democrats. We don't need to hate each other. We can talk to each other and understand each other's points and blah, 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 and this and that. Well, if there's ever a reason now to look at your Republican friends and question their sanity, it would be right now, wouldn't it? I mean, I just don't get it. Thinking people actually supporting this numbskull.
But there's a history here. We had
He's made a lot of money.
We had a wrestler who was the governor of a state. We had an
Jesse
actor,
Ventura, right?
We had an actor who was the president of the United States.
Yeah, but I would make the argument. Personally, I know that. I know Jesse Ventura, not personally, but I know him from being in the government. Even Reagan. Put them all together. Trump does not even shine their shoes as far as being an eloquent orator or somebody who's familiar with issues, someone who has ideas. He's not. Those people, at least, whether it was given to them by others or whether it was their own thoughts, at least knew a little something about how to govern and what people wanted. This guy's on his own.
It makes a mockery of all politicians.
Yeah, this guy's like on his own.
Yeah, it's it is political science, right? I mean, there's actually courses in school called political science.
Yeah, everyone says, how come all politicians or most of them are lawyers? Well, it makes sense because politicians kind of have the job of forming laws and that kind of thing, and lawyers are trained to do that.
Critical analysis
of issues.
Yeah.
How about presenting issues by speaking? All these things are what we as lawyers learn in school and do over our lifetime. So it kind of makes sense.
I want to know if any of our listeners are voting for Trump. If you're a Republican, give us a call.
Tell us why. What is it that you like?
215-227-2727. I know the answer to that question.
You know what they like.
I know why they're going to
Money.
vote. No. They like somebody who speaks their mind. You know, how refreshing for a politician who usually, changes what they say so that they can say the things that they want, that people want them to hear.
I agree. I like that. That is
it?
refreshing. But when you actually hear the things that are being said, you can then say it's great that you're being honest, but boy, you have some whacked ideas. See you later.
215-227-2727. You voting for Trump? Give us a call. Let's talk to Renee from Philly. Renee, welcome to Court Radio.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
We're well, thanks. Where are you living in Philly? It's a big city,
West Philly.
West Philly. Renee, okay. I was supposed to come down to West Philly yesterday. Well, actually, South Philly. But,
Southwest is where
yeah. But I didn't get a chance to yesterday. I was too tied up. But I now get to talk to you, Renee, and you're going to tell me why you're calling Court Radio.
Okay. Hopefully I can make this as short as I can.
Uh-oh.
In December, I had a civil action against me from one of my creditors. Well, actually, it's an agency. How does it go when...
a collection agency.
A collection agency, yes. And so they took me to court. I lost my job in 2012 because of some issues that's going on, and I hadn't been able to work even still today. And so when I went to court, we did have an agreed judgment. And yesterday I was just prompted to give them a call because I haven't been receiving any statements from them. I'm paying them on time. And so when I called, nobody seems to know anything. They said I didn't have a plan set up, and they wanted to do it over the telephone. I said, I'm not going to do any plan setting up over the telephone. I need to get back with the person, who originally I went to court for this. And when I called a number that was on the agreed judgment, this 800 number, nobody knows who this person is. That's on the paper. They never heard of this person. And I'm like, what do I do? Because it just seems so odd that I would go to court and they gave me several excuses on the phone. They said my payments were late. I said that's not true. I always set my payments on time.
Well, here's Renee. You want to pull your credit history so that you can see if
there's judgment.
If this derogatory credit or supposed derogatory credit even shows up on your credit report. You entered into an agreement with somebody, but the person is irrelevant. Of course, nobody knows his name. It's a big corporation, and he was some toad who came to court that day on behalf of probably, 40 or 50 people like yourself. And so, his name isn't all that important. What's important is if the company had a claim against you that day, the corporation who had a claim against you is who your agreement is with, not that person who was in court that day.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so, if you have an agreement and you've been paying your agreement and nobody's been complaining, it sounds to me like everything's working just the way it's supposed to.
I don't have any statements, though. Who am I getting my statements from to say that I'm paying?
Well, you have, I
you
assume,
have your check?
You have your canceled checks and proof of payment.
Yeah, I do have that.
Okay.
I do have that, yes. But,
who's cashing the checks? Who's processing the checks?
I did check with my bank. It is from the people that it's supposed to be going to.
Okay.
It kind of just threw me off because I said, I understand about the person who took me to court because the judge even knew the person that was, there. Representing the corporation.
Yeah, as a lawyer.
But I just got a little sidetracked when they kept saying they wanted to set up a plan over the telephone. And
you got some
had a history or anything of me.
As Dean said, it's some toad on the phone.
Yeah,
I did keep a track of all my payments. I mean, it was
Renee. You're doing everything that you're doing everything you need to do on the matter. And what happened is, you know what?
You had the person with the script in front of him on the phone going, okay, it's time to set up a plan.
You never should have called them in the first place. No. Things are going, leave well enough alone. Thanks for calling Court Radio, though, Renee from West Philly. And if you got another question, we'll catch you on the next go-round. 215-227-2727. We got Kelly on the phone. We're going to talk to, also from Philly. Where's our Jersey people? I even visited them last week.
Kelly
from Philly. Hello, Kelly. Welcome to Court Radio.
Oh, good morning. How are you?
We're doing well, thanks. What are you doing up so early?
Going to church.
Going to church, okay. There's only a few answers that are acceptable, but that's one of them.
Okay.
I dare ask what the other ones are.
Well, you haven't fallen asleep. You haven't gone to sleep from last night yet. All right, Kelly. So what's going on?
Okay. I'm trying to make a long story short.
Oh my God.
Well, recently, my family had to go into a situation with my grandfather. His house. Well, he went into a nursing home, and now his property is up for foreclosure. But we're having a problem trying to pay the property off because his name is still on the property. So we're trying to figure out what could we do as far as selling his house.
Okay, wait. Grandpa alive or is he passed?
Oh, he's alive.
He's alive.
Home.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he owns his house and he's alive, and you are trying to work deals out for him. Is he incompetent? Is he not able to talk to people? What's the story with?
He can talk. But he was given appointed power of attorney, court-appointed power of attorney. I'm sorry.
Okay, so the court, how did that get before the court? How did his?
I have not the slightest idea.
Okay, well, sounds like you're out of the loop a little bit. But does Grandpa have children besides grandchildren? Does he have children?
He has children.
Okay, and does he have a wife?
He has an ex-wife.
Okay, well, ex-wives are meaningless.
It could be the foreclosure company that forced the legal guardian to be, you know what I mean? They filed.
I don't know. David and I are guessing, but somehow...
Well, I think they filed, no one answered, right? And then, so they got a legal guardian to get involved so they could enter their appearance for him. And then
I don't know if that's true, David. It might be correct,
it may
but
be true.
Here's the deal. Grandpa has a guardian appointed for him, it sounds like you've said.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that person is the person who's now making decisions for Grandpa.
Well, from what my understanding is that the guardian he has is just for his financial part.
Well,
but then as though he has to pay for his living at the nursing home, he doesn't have money left for his house.
Right, but the guardian makes those financial decisions. And whoever that is, and do you know who that guardian is?
I do, but I'm not giving any names.
No, but he means, have you spoken to the guardian?
I've spoken with him, yes.
Okay.
Is it a family member?
No, it's a court-appointed power of attorney. So it's someone, I think, a lawyer or someone who's handling his case.
Why can't that person answer the questions that you have?
I don't know. He's giving me the runaround. He just told me to call downtown and see what I can do through them. And then now they're telling me that I will have to at least have him sign something. But I don't know if I can go past the power of attorney to have him sign it.
You can't.
No.
You know, the power of attorney is the person right now. Grandpa isn't capable. Let me put it this way. If he was declared incompetent in court, then he's no longer has the ability to sign and affect changes in his financial condition or the ownership of property or any of that. But that's a big if. I don't know if he was declared incompetent because you don't know if he was declared incompetent.
I'm not too sure what happened because I know my aunt and my mom and my uncles went to court with them.
Yeah,
so I have no idea what happened in court.
I'd say this is a family issue because you know what?
Yeah, we need
you need to talk to your aunt and uncle who are in court, and they probably have the answers.
It's hard for us to answer a question when we don't know how it happened.
Yeah, we need to know the issues in order to decipher it for you. And I would say you need to talk to your aunts and uncles and moms and dads and have a family meeting. And if you still don't have the answers after that, then
Hire a lawyer?
Well, then I think you have a duty as a family to all contact the guardian and set up an appointment to meet with him or her. The guardian, I will say this, when the court appoints a guardian to represent somebody who's incompetent, they have to report to the court. They have to tell the court every nickel that comes in and every nickel that goes out. And that's called an accounting. And you can ask for an accounting at any time. And you could say to the court, we want to know what's going on with Grandpa's money. And the court will have a hearing and will get to the bottom of that by having the guardian account to the court for the expenses. So
Okay.
yeah, so worry not. You're going to get answers, but you got to do it the way I'm telling you. Get together as a family, ask the guardian to provide you with answers as a family, and then you'll be fine. And if not, you go to court and ask the court to ask the guardian for that information through an accounting.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Take care, dear. Have a great Sunday, and thanks for listening to Court Radio.
Oh, thank you.
215-227-2727. We got issues here, David. Everybody's got issues.
Everyone's got these issues, and they're complicated and different.
Yeah.
That's why we're in business.
There you go. Kathleen Kane. This woman is always in the news.
Well, I mean, they've been talking about her. She's in the news because the news wants her to be in the news. I mean, come on.
Her family, though, it seems like these folks are politicians with a checkered history, as they say. Well, they're always, they've got problems, legal issues, bankruptcies, and indictments constantly or often. Now what's the story? What happened?
I don't know. I have no idea. I know that she's been indicted.
She's been indicted in Montgomery County.
Right.
I mean, it isn't like, some far-off land.
No.
She's dragged. Our Attorney General.
I live in Bucks County, so it is.
The Attorney General for the state Commonwealth of Pennsylvania has been indicted in Montgomery County. She's the highest legal officer for the state of Pennsylvania.
And the legal officer, right. And she's been indicted for doing illegal things.
And
or alleged.
The governor's asked her to step down.
Yes.
She hasn't.
One felony count of perjury. And 7 misdemeanor counts for false swearing. This isn't the kind of thing,
You don't think she should step down?
Well, no. First of all, she's maintaining her innocence. Second of all, this isn't an alleged thing where she's, stole money or something. They're claiming that she perjured herself.
Yeah.
Which I look at that, I don't know. I think that perjury charge is a whole political thing. Like, if that were the thing that would take politicians down, you'd have perjury cases every 5 seconds. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of one that, and in this one, how long have they been talking about this investigation for Kane? So they've been doing an investigation for 2 years, and this is all they can come up with is a perjury charge. It's sort of like, we got to find something. We have to find something to get her on. There it is, perjury.
I see. So to you, this is a Monica Lewinsky kind of a thing.
Oh, well,
President Clinton
that
lied.
doesn't kind of work.
Well, he lied. He remember?
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
There you go.
Did you like that?
I did. Well, I set you up for it, though.
I know you did.
215-227-2727. You're putting Monica. You're putting.
I don't know. No, look, I don't know. But she is. We live in a world of innocent till proven guilty. If she can't perform her job, see, the issue is, can you perform your job still when you're indicted and having to defend yourself? And if the answer is no, then you should step down. That's the only thing. She shouldn't step down because she's been indicted as the sole reason, because she's innocent right now.
Right.
But if she can't work because she's busy defending herself, which is a logical conclusion, then maybe she needs to step down.
Governor called for her to step down. Tom Wolfe says, "Step down, lady. We don't need you anymore."
He doesn't want any.
It is an elected position.
Onto his,
it's not like he appointed her.
True.
I mean, she was the baggage. He came in.
He came into her.
Yeah, he came into her.
Jeez.
Yeah. 215-227-2727. Let's talk to Linda from New Jersey. Hey, Linda, welcome to Court Radio.
Hi. Good morning.
Where in New Jersey?
Collingswood.
Collingswood, okay. You voting
Yeah.
for the governor for president?
No, I don't think so.
President Krispy Kreme? No? Okay. He's very low in the polls.
He's so low he didn't get invited to the debate, I don't think.
No, he was there.
He was? Are you sure?
I think he was.
I don't know. They took the top 10 vote
There were so
getters.
many. I don't even know who was there.
Did he say anything? No, he was too. He was
eating.
Yeah, he was munching.
Oh, that's bad.
All
That was
right,
too easy.
stop it. Linda,
Yes.
we dragged you into this. I'm sorry. This
That's okay.
so why
It was
you
David.
why are you calling? It was David, by the way.
I'm calling because I was in a car accident back in March of 2015, and I was working during the time. So I was out. Well, actually, they didn't put me out on workman's comp until May 2015. Now, I've been out on workman's comp, and I have seen 8 of their doctors, and no one has given me the treatment that I really need because I'm going back to work as of next week, supposedly, and I'm still in worse pain.
Let me ask you the first question, the obvious question. Do you have a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. And do you have a lawyer for the is it the
An
workers?
accident case or what?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. How'd the accident happen? Just give me like the 10-second version.
I was at a red light stop coming from a client going into the office to get funds for the client, and a lady ran into the back of me.
Okay. So here's what you have and what you need representation on potentially. You have a case against the woman who hit you. And that's called a third-party case. And that type of case will pay you for all of your pain and suffering, aggravation, potentially any wage loss you have, excess medical bills, all the things that you are caused to suffer as a result of that accident are potentially compensable damages, and it comes from that woman's insurance company, okay, that hit you. You also have a workers' compensation claim because it happened in the course and scope of your employment. So that's a separate claim, And that claim pays you your wage loss if you're unable to do your job as a result of an injury sustained during the course of your employment, and it pays for your medical expenses related to that injury. These claims can be handled by the same attorney, perhaps, or more likely these days by 2 different attorneys, one for the workers' compensation claim, one for the third-party claim. And so and it's not unusual for employers, doctors, and that whole mill to put an employee through hell. Okay,
And that's what I'm going through.
Of course
Yes,
you are.
I've seen 8 different doctors.
Sure, and
Because it's an insurance company. They don't want to pay you.
They're going to keep on putting you through things that, they're going to try to find doctors who will give them the opinions they want.
Sew her leg back on so she can work.
Exactly.
And I'm still limping. I'm actually limping.
Okay.
Well,
So that you're not going through anything most people that go through what
Right.
you're doing are going through.
you're entitled to go to your own doctors at some point after 90 days, I believe it is.
Well,
No, my
not in New
doctor-
Jersey.
My
Yeah.
doctor would not. They didn't get me MRIs until April, and my doctor, I begged her to help me, and she said she couldn't.
Where did the accident happen? In Jersey or Pennsylvania?
Jersey.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's
Yeah.
one of the problems.
Well, I mean,
And the type of work that I'm doing, I need to be able to run out of a client's house if something goes down. That's not happening. So you know what I did? I brought me some pepper spray.
okay. Well,
All right.
here's the deal. As you said when you started, you have representation, and you need to get with your attorney and ask the questions that you need answered. And as I said, you have 2 claims here, and hopefully that attorney's focused on both of them, both the third party case and the workers' comp case. If you need, and listen, here's the deal, because we were talking last week, David and I, and a client had come to me who had been represented by attorneys actually in New Jersey, and the attorney said, listen, we can't do anything for you. And the client came to me, and 3 months later, we had the case resolved and a resolution for over $100,000. If you're not getting the answers from the attorney who represents you, whether that attorney is, no matter who it is, you have the absolute right to seek representation from another attorney or to get your case reviewed, get a second opinion, do what you need to do to protect yourself, but you should have the answers that you need from the person or people who are representing you. That's the bottom line. You know, why are you paying your attorney if you're not able to call them and get the answers you need?
Okay.
215-227-2727. Give us a call if you need answers to your questions.
Thank you.
All right. You know, how many people call us, David,
Well, it's true.
who have representation?
I know. It's crazy.
And, like, you know, I have an open door policy at my office, and I also have a competent team of individuals. I can't do it all myself, but I've got, 7 attorneys. I've got, 15 different paralegals. Most clients get their answers from people at my office. I don't want them calling somebody else to get an answer.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm trying to think of an analogy, but it's like hiring a plumber to fix a leaky pipe, and when he's there fixing it, you're calling another plumber to ask how to fix the leaky pipe.
Yeah.
Like, ask the one that you're paying.
Right. There you go. Not that we discourage people who are represented from calling court radio.
No.
But if you have to call us to get the answer and you have representation,
yeah, there's some issue going on here.
That's something you got to think about.
Yeah, something not right.
That's a little strange. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back in 2 minutes. Keep those calls coming. 215-227-2727.
If you've been injured on the job and are entitled to workers' comp, you need someone fighting for you from the start. Call Jeffrey Gross, attorney at law. Don't rely on your employer or insurance company to get it right. Call 215-512-1500. If you're entitled to workers' comp or it's being challenged, Jeffrey Gross can help get the money you deserve, and he won't get paid unless you get paid. Call 215-512-1500. Jeffrey Gross, attorney at law, representing Pennsylvania's injured workers for more than 20 years. It's a legal and financial squeeze. You're unable to work because of an accident, but your legal case is still not settled, so you can't pay the bills to take care of your family. But now, thanks to U.S. Claims, you can. If you have a pending lawsuit, call 1-877-US-CLAIMS. While you're waiting for your settlement, U.S. Claims can help you pay the bills. Get out of the squeeze. Call 1-877-US-CLAIMS today. If you have legal problems and need answers, call My Philly lawyer, Dean Weitzman, first at 215-227-2727 for personal injury, medical malpractice, birth injury, and more. Call Dean first.
He will fight for your rights. That's what Dean Weitzman is all about.
Call My Philly lawyer, Dean Weitzman, first. 215-227-2727. My Philly lawyer, when winning matters most. For 20 years, Center City Medical Center has provided premium expert medical services for Philadelphia. Whether you need musculoskeletal rehab or an immigration physical, call 888-945-EXAM. Our board-certified physicians have more than 80 years' experience from post-injury rehab to DNA paternity testing. To make an appointment at one of our 3 convenient locations, call 888-945-EXAM. Get premium expert care. Center City Medical Center, serving Northeast, North, and Center City, Philadelphia.
The following is a paid program brought to you by My Philly Lawyer. The views and opinions expressed are those of the sponsor and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the station and its management.
Need more legal answers? Here's more Court Radio with your host, Dean Weitzman.
Welcome back. It's Court Radio, and I am Dean Weitzman. I'm joined in the studio with my co-host, the one and only, the inimitable Bummer, David M. Rappaport.
Good morning.
Hello, Bummer.
Bummer.
I wonder if there's anybody else in Philadelphia
I poo-poo your bummer.
who's still using the Bummer.
Oh, please. There's tons of... I've heard it on TV.
Yeah, okay.
Not even local. It's not a local thing.
I think it's so local. It's Bell's Corner. It's
oh, please.
It's Washington High School.
No, you are so out of it.
What street did you grow up on?
Lawler.
Lawler.
L.A. Interesting, right? Law.
No, not interesting.
Oh, all right.
But it is the intersection of Bustleton and Lawler where the Northeast office for My Philly Lawyer
That's
is.
right. You're right. Right behind it is the street I grew up. Yes,
exactly there.
Pretty much, if you went backwards.
The hotbed of legal knowledge is right there. David grew up. We're going to have to get a little plaque for the house that you grew up in.
844.
Court Radio.
Maybe I shouldn't say that. The people who live there now are going to be in.
Well, they don't. David doesn't live there
I don't
anymore.
live there anymore, so yeah.
But a little plaque, David slept here.
David slept here, yes.
215-227-2727. The Northeast office for My Philly Lawyer is at Bustleton and Lawler. Clients now are liking that place.
Like Bustleton and Varee, right past that.
Yeah, they're jumping on that. But we still have our Center City office as well, and we're thinking of opening other offices in the area. And in fact, we're going to make an announcement very soon about the next office. But right now, I got to talk to Craig from Philly on line 3 there, young man. Larry's going nuts. We don't have Monica today. Craig?
Hello, fellas. How are you? Good morning.
Okay.
Good morning, Craig. How are you?
I'm well. I'm good, thanks.
Good.
I'm getting a lot of static. I don't know if it's where I'm at. I'm just getting a lot of feedback status.
Okay, well, turn your radio
down.
Turn
the radio down.
And relax. We hear you just fine.
Excellent. I have a issue where I had made arrangements or made reservations for a hotel in Philadelphia.
Okay.
And it was for the holiday weekend, July 4th. And after getting my bill, I found out that I had 2 charges made on my account, one from a hotel in Center City and another one down near the Penn's Landing. Now, I only made one reservation, but I've been charged for the same time that I had made my reservations at 2 separate hotels. I went to my bank. My bank inquired about that with them, and they sent me back a notice saying that it was valid, that I did make reservations at 2 different hotels. So I went to the police department, and I asked, how can I get a transcript of the verbal transcript information that I gave them? Because the only way they can confirm that is by my telephone conversation with them, giving them my credit card number. So I'm kind of stuck in how to handle that.
Well,
you're not going to get that from the police. I can tell you that.
Here's what I would do. I mean, I guess my best advice would be to file a claim in small claims court in Philadelphia, municipal court,
against the one you didn't go to,
against the hotel you didn't go to, and sue them for the money they took from your credit card. If that's a couple $100, whatever it is, you're going to sue them and say, hey, listen, I never made a reservation. I didn't stay at your hotel. I didn't make a reservation at your hotel, and I want my money back. They would then have to come in with the evidence they think proves you did make the reservation there. And if they don't come in with that information, you win, they lose. I suspect, Craig, that they're not even going to bother showing up. They're not going to want to spend the money necessary to bring in a lawyer in to defend them. And all they're going to do is mail you a check. And that's going to be the end of that case. How's that?
Okay.
And
so
listen to me. Listen.
File for the claim,
you go to
small claims court. How long will it take? Is there any cost going to cost me?
Yeah, it costs like $70 or something.
But you're going to get those costs back.
Yeah.
If you win, you get not only will you get the money you claim is owed to you, but you'll also get all the costs back. So the answer is, if you win, it will cost you nothing in the end of the day. And how long will it take? I don't know. Who knows? A month, 2 months?
A couple months at the most.
It's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much. That kind of relieves my thought process on how to go about.
And you can go online and get the small claims complaint form now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you just go to Philadelphia Municipal Court website, Philadelphia's Municipal Court website, and they'll have all kinds of information for you to download and play with. Bottom line is, I think you're going to be a man who's getting his money back.
Yes!
Wow. All right. One excitable fellow.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
All
I'll be
right.
calling you back.
We finally lost him.
Yeah.
Poor
right
Craig.
when he was going to say, I love you guys. I've been listening to you forever.
He was going to extol the virtues of David Rappaport.
Right. The one time he was going to say, and that David guy.
Somebody was going to finally say nice about
Dean
you.
Dean cut it off immediately.
It wasn't me. It was God, David. 215-227-2727. We got callers. We got answers. Trump, do you see him at the finish line? What's your prediction?
I don't. Well, if reason and sanity prevails, he won't be nominated.
No,
as the Republican nominee. However, if he does get nominated, then I don't know.
I think the guy's.
I think he's going to implode. He's going to. Yeah.
I think he's imploded.
He has. Yeah.
The question, part of me says that he's so insane, okay, that he walked away from probably hundreds of millions of dollars with his mouth just not being able to shut down.
Yeah, right. He lost a lot of
contracts.
Yeah.
Lost TV shows.
Yeah.
I mean, millions and millions of dollars down the tube. Is this the guy you want running the country? That he's willing to shoot his mouth off and put us in bankruptcy? Because he just doesn't know when to shut up.
Right. Someone will tick him off, and he'll some foreign leader.
The dude has no filter, filter whatsoever, and but. It is interesting that he's like the front runner for the Republicans. I mean, if that doesn't say something about the Republicans.
Yeah, really.
215-227-2727. Let's talk to Santos from Philly on line 1. Young Larry Lawrence. Santos.
Yes, good morning.
Is this Santos?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I was expecting a man. Do you often do people?
I got a guy's name.
You got a guy's name. How did that happen?
Yeah. Well, my grandmother was named Santos, so I think my mother and my father wanted a boy, so they named me Santos too. So I don't know.
Do you fulfill the needs for a boy now from mom and dad? Are they happy with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the only child too, so I got to be the boy and the girl. So.
Okay. All right. So, where are you from, Santos?
Philadelphia.
Where? Come on.
The Germantown area.
There you go.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Germantown.
Germantown.
Yeah, I've stayed there a couple times. Germantown.
You passed through.
I used to have a girlfriend in. Yeah.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
So what's up? What's your question?
My daughter was in a car accident 2 months ago.
Did you
name? In front of our house.
Did you name her Santos?
No.
Okay.
No.
Santos
she's
Jr.
She's who? Lisa?
Melissa. Yeah.
Melissa. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you said the car was parked?
Yeah, they were parked because they were just talking,
Okay.
and there was a police chase. And the guy who the police was chasing came in and hit him head on, so his car was total. And when they went to the lawyer said that he was fine, that he was covered and all, but because she didn't have full tort, that they couldn't do anything for her.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she did get hurt. She suffered some back injuries and all, so she's going to therapy and all, but they telling her that she's going to have to come out of pocket to pay for that.
Okay. So
all right, we got a lot of issues.
Yeah, there's a bunch of issues. First of all, I assume you have limited tort insurance on your car in your household.
No, I have full.
You have full tort.
You sure?
Does Melissa live with you?
Yes.
Does she have her own car?
Does she own her own car?
Yes, she did. She has her own car.
And she has limited tort.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's limited tort.
But she has medical coverage.
She has medical coverage.
If she has insurance.
Yes, she does.
Okay, so you said she's out of pocket.
Well, she used up the first $5,000, perhaps?
I guess, yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal. Your daughter is limited tort. That just means that in order for her to collect for her pain and suffering from the at-fault vehicle, which would be this car that was being chased by the police, she would need to have a serious permanent injury. Okay?
Oh,
and
okay.
Now, I don't know. She might have a permanent injury.
Not permanent, but serious.
She might have a serious injury. She might have a permanent injury. I don't know.
Doesn't need to be permanent.
Okay.
Mr. Philly Lord.
The diagnostic studies really will tell the tale on that case, and whether and how the injury has impacted her life, getting to the seriousness that David's talking about.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure. I don't know why an attorney, I know that and I think you do as well, Dean, when you get a case where there is limited tort, you at least pursue the case up to the point where you know fully what the injuries are and how they've progressed, because you don't know, you can't make that determination of how it affects the person until they're done treating with a physician and the diagnosis has been made.
True.
So if she's still suffering and treating, I don't know why a lawyer would just abandon it.
The other statement, the other issue is that her excess medical bills are always recoverable.
Always.
So even though she's limited tort, and in order to collect for her pain and suffering, she needs to have established a serious condition. But even if she doesn't have a serious condition, she's always able to collect any excess medical bills that are due and payable because of the injury she sustained in the accident.
See, this is a good lesson. You've given us a question that is going to teach a lesson to all of our listeners that I'm not so sure we've ever really talked about that much. And that lesson is that there are a lot of lawyers out there in Philadelphia. 15,000, I think, maybe more now. And they all think, believe me, I'm not lying about this, they all think they can dabble in personal injury because it's a quick buck and we're going to make some money. Look at those personal injury lawyers that are making money, so we're going to dabble in it. And guess what? You can't dabble in it. You got to know the law. You got to know all the intricacies, because it seems to me from what you're talking about that this lawyer or lawyers turned it down because and you're going to have to pay the medical bills. They don't even know that you can collect the medical bills from the responsible party, even if you have limited tort.
Now, I will say
it's a little nuance.
Yes. I will say this, though, Santos. You describe an accident in which the accident occurred because the perpetrator of the accident is being chased by the police and he's fleeing.
Yeah.
That is possible, would be grounds for the insurance company of that vehicle to disclaim coverage.
That's correct.
Because he's engaged in a felony or felonious activity at the time of the accident by running from the police. There usually is a clause in the contract that says if you do that, that's not an accident, and we're not paying the damages that you cause. In that case, you need to have something called uninsured motorist, either on the car that she's in or her own car. Now, if neither the car she was in nor her own car have uninsured motorist, and the company for the vehicle that's fleeing the police disclaim coverage, then there is nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And that is why I stress to all of my clients to have uninsured motorist on your car, because so often in Philadelphia and the surrounding communities, people are uninsured for one reason or another. And if you don't maintain uninsured motorist, you've exposed yourself and your family to the greatest of risks that are out there, that you will be injured by some fate you have no control over, and you will not be compensated whatsoever if you don't maintain that insurance for yourself.
Well, I just assume that when you buy insurance for your car, that uninsured motorist is automatically added on there.
Santos,
it's not.
Assume at your own risk, young lady.
Yeah, right.
Assume at your own risk. You need to call. You need to call My Philly Lawyer. I have clients who call me regularly to say, hey, I'm getting insurance. What do I need? You know, when I was a young lawyer, when I was still in my 20s, I'd have my parents would come to me. They had gotten insurance their whole lives, and they got the wrong insurance their whole lives. And they'd say to me, what do I need? And I'd, figure out what type of coverage they needed and tell them. So I've been doing this for 30 years, telling people what kind of coverage they need. It irks me to no end for you, Santos or Melissa, to spend money on insurance and then when you need it, not have what you need to protect yourself. Like, if you're going to do the right thing and pay coverage, year after year after year,
Right.
and then have the need to use it, and the insurance company kind of laughs up their sleeve and says, ha, 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 you paid us all these years and you never had the right coverage, and now we're happy you don't have the right coverage because you can't get anything out of us. That's what's going on.
Terrible. Now, I was wondering, because they were asking for my insurance information, too. They say, well, does anybody in the household have insurance?
Correct,
And
because...
she said, well, what does my mother's insurance have to do with my accident?
Well, here's why. Because if you've got insurance in the household and she's a member of your household, she gets the benefit of your policy as well. She's in neither her vehicle nor your vehicle, and therefore she can come back to the household, first to her own vehicle, but also to your vehicle. So if you have uninsured motorist, your insurance would pay for her as well. I mean, it's complicated. As David said, we started this out. This is complicated stuff.
It is.
It needs to be handled by an attorney who knows what they're doing. And there are a ton of attorneys out there who don't know. They're adrift on a log of ignorance in a sea. And
Wow, there's a metaphor.
You happen to have, affixed your little barnacle to the wrong boat, baby. You need to call My Philly Lawyer when you got legal issues. 215-227-2727. We're not just pretty faces. We know what we're doing. All right, Santos, be well and enjoy the day. All right.
Yes, you too. I'm going to tell her to call you.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Take care. Thank you.
He fixed your little barnacle. I like that.
Melissa, the little barnacle, got affixed to the wrong legal boat. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. We're going to try to get to all your legal questions. 215-227-2727.
If you've been injured on the job and are entitled to workers' comp, you need someone fighting for you from the start. Call Jeffrey Gross, attorney at law. Don't rely on your employer or insurance company to get it right. Call 215-512-1500. If you're entitled to workers' comp or it's being challenged, Jeffrey Gross can help get the money you deserve, and he won't get paid unless you get paid. Call 215-512-1500. Jeffrey Gross, attorney at law, representing Pennsylvania's injured workers for more than 20 years. It's a legal and financial squeeze. You're unable to work because of an accident, but your legal case is still not settled, so you can't pay the bills to take care of your family. But now, thanks to U.S. Claims, you can. If you have a pending lawsuit, call 1-877-US-CLAIMS. While you're waiting for your settlement, U.S. Claims can help you pay the bills. Get out of the squeeze. Call 1-877-US-CLAIMS today. If you have legal problems and need answers, call My Philly Lawyer, Dean Weitzman, first at 215-227-2727 for personal injury, medical malpractice, birth injury, and more. Call Dean first.
He will fight for your rights. That's what Dean Weitzman is all about.
Call My Philly Lawyer, Dean Weitzman, first. 215-227-2727. My Philly Lawyer, when winning matters most. For 20 years, Center City Medical Center has provided premium expert medical services for Philadelphia. Whether you need musculoskeletal rehab or an immigration physical, call 888-945-EXAM. Our board-certified physicians have more than 80 years' experience from post-injury rehab to DNA paternity testing. To make an appointment at one of our 3 convenient locations, call 888-945-EXAM. Get premium expert care. Center City Medical Center, serving Northeast, North, and Center City, Philadelphia.
The following is a paid program brought to you by My Philly Lawyer. The views and opinions expressed are those of the sponsor and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the station and its management.
Need more legal answers? Here's more Court Radio with your host, Dean Weitzman.
Good morning and welcome back. I thank our regular listeners from the bottom of my heart for listening to Court Radio every Sunday, same time, same place, but we're on. Wait. Is that music to your ears or what? David, David's a drummer.
It's the greatest.
You playing music anywhere soon?
No, actually, I'm in a little hiatus.
Oh, okay.
Practicing, but not
there you go.
Playing anywhere yet.
You still need to practice?
Well, I mean, practicing with others, you know.
I see.
Yeah, they call it rehearsal. Let's call it that.
I see.
Not practicing.
215-227-27.
But the answer to that?
27.
Yes, you always need to practice.
Oh, okay. I was just kidding. I know. I'm a musician, too.
Yeah, right. The trumpet.
I do. I'm a trumpet player.
Yeah, okay. I've heard you. The last time you played the trumpet was 30 years ago.
The last time I played professionally, I was in the Temple University Diamond Marching Band.
Right. The only,
and we had those white puffy hats that went
go there.
all the way up into the sky.
I was going to
with a chin strap. You know that? Can you picture that?
I can.
A white puffy hat that goes all the way up, chin strap, Weitzman.
You're only proficient on a certain type of flute.
215-227. 2727.
I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Everyone knows. Listeners know what I'm talking
William from North Philly, who's been politely waiting online. William.
Good morning. How are you?
All right. And you, sir, how are you?
I'm blessed by the best.
There you go. That's why we brought you on. So tell me something. What's going on in William's life? Why are you calling Court Radio today, other than, you like us?
I have a question about identity theft. Back in 2000, I originally took out a mortgage on my home. And up until like around 2012, what happened was through that time, they changed over to different mortgage companies, and my payment and stuff went up. So around 2012, I was talking to the mortgage lady, and I asked her why was it going up, why was it so high. She checked her book and found out that someone had renewed my mortgage in 2007.
Refinance.
Okay. Now after that, after I found out, I went to the police. They gave me all kinds of hand signature tests and stuff like that. After that, I got an attorney, but the attorney I have to pay him a little bit at a time. So now I've already paid like half of that. But what's happening is that everywhere I went, I can't get, even when I went to PFCU where the money was deposited to, they don't have no picture. All they have is a signature. I went to the Notary Public. They don't have no more records. The company that originally gave the finance thing, they're out of business. The Notary Republic, he don't have anything. He said that's too far back from 2007. So
by the way, that's only 8 years, and you've been looking into this probably for a year or so. So it's 7. It's not that long ago.
Yeah, a year and a half.
Yeah, it's not that long ago. But again, it's a conundrum. I don't know. The way out of this, again, like I told the last caller who had a similar question, if somebody's charging you something and you've been paying it unbeknownst to you, you should.
I stopped paying it, though.
You stop paying it, okay?
I stopped paying the mortgage, and I got to go now. August the 18th, I have to be in court because they're trying to put my house up for sure sale. But I have the attorney who's going to be there with me. My question is, I was just trying to see what kind of chances do I have of saving my home because of this situation.
Well, I'm not in the business of horses, and I can't tell you what your odds are. But I can tell you this: I would sue them. I would countersue them for all the money for the last 4 years. I think is about as far back as you could go. For the last 4 years that you paid them more than you should have paid them, I would sue them to recoup that money, and I would claim that they were wrong in charging you the monies they were charging you, and I would make your argument that you mistakenly paid it, but that you want it back. And you then put the ball in their court for a portion of this money because your claim for that money back will force them to prove that it was a legitimate claim. I think that otherwise, the most you're going to get is, what are you going to get? I mean, if you just go to court to defend and say, hey, it wasn't my mortgage, I guess the court may, I don't know.
I'm in bankruptcy. I've been paying. I paid part of it in bankruptcy.
Yeah. It's crazy. How long have you not been paying it?
A year and a half.
Mm-hmm. And when did you declare bankruptcy?
Back in 2012.
So that's a little bit more than. That's when you stopped paying them. That's a little bit more than a year and a half.
No, I didn't stop paying. I went on for about maybe 5 or 6 months.
Okay.
That's when I decided to get. That's when I called a friend of mine, which is an attorney, and he recommended me to this attorney. He said, because on a case like this, I really needed to get an attorney. But my thing is, too, is that all of the signatures, even down to the police, they told me that they can't do nothing with the signatures until they find get the original signature from the mortgage company that's out of business.
Right. Yeah, I would predict you're gonna stay in the house with these defenses. I would go on the offense though and try to get some of your money back that you paid. But it'll only go back 4 years. Under a breach of contract, you can only go back 4 years. So, you could try to get.
My thing is not so much about money; it's about my house.
I understand, but the reason I want you to consider making a claim for your money back is it really puts the impetus on the other party to prove that they were legitimately collecting the money. And they would have to come up with the signature cards or proof that this was your loan. You're going to have to you may have to hire yourself a handwriting expert also. All this stuff's expensive, complicated. I wish you the best of luck on it. It's not something I'd want to be involved in either in your position or as the attorney. Because there's a lot of work to be done. It can get very expensive and maybe more expense than you're willing to incur at this point. But best of luck. I gave you some ideas. Thanks for listening to Court Radio. Keep listening to Court Radio and have a great Sunday. 215-227-2727. We got callers. Let's talk to. That was William, right? All right. Let's talk to Nikki. I like that name. Nikki. It's Nikki from Northeast Philly. Nikki?
Calvin.
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 All right. Hey, listen.
Calvin, Nikki, hey, they sound the same.
Yeah, we'll take our shot. Calvin, what's happening to you today?
I'm from West Philly. I'm glad you were able to take the call. I appreciate you and the work you're doing and the announcements you've made. I have a divorce matter. Can you discuss that?
Of course I can discuss that. I've been through it.
Excellent. You may be just the man or who I'm looking for. The marriage is over, but I have, of course, those conditions of a 10-year marriage plus. And with garnishments to my wages that are current. I suspect some of the conditions in the decree are being neglected or they're not being followed. But moreover, the attorney I had to was unsatisfied. So now it's concerned where I'm ready for retirement, and do I need to go back to court to amend because of those conditions?
Let me ask you let me ask you a question. You're paying alimony, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you want to modify your decree in order to change the amount of money you're paying because things in your life circumstances have changed?
I want to modify the decree because of the conditions of the decree I think are broken. I have no proof. A. B. I think that the amounts that have been paid in my thinking, should affect the retirement funds that are supposed to be hers.
If you have no proof, you already kind of set a red flag that you might not be able to do anything. You know, the law and good hearing requires proof of something that you're alleging. So if you just don't like the decree, that's one thing. If you have proof to be able to show that it should be modified, whether it's a change in your income or a change in her income, then you can do that.
Some decrees are modifiable and others aren't. And what you need is somebody to review your decrees, review the paperwork, and sit down with you to tell you what can or cannot be done. you need representation. And at My Philly Lawyer, we do domestic relations representation, divorce, child custody, support. All of those issues are tackled on a regular basis by a team of lawyers up in the Northeast office who do domestic relations. So all you got to do is give us a call at 215-227-2727. We'll be happy to sit down with you and review your paperwork, give you a consultation. Of course, well,